Hi, everyone. Welcome to the virtual event space of Books and Books, your locally owned independent bookstore here in South Florida. We today have the privilege. We have the privilege of hosting many authors every year for events like this one. But it's always truly special when we get to host one of our local authors who support us year round, and we get to support them with their latest book. And today is one of those days. So today we are thrilled and quite honored to be hosting Margaret Cardillo with the launch of her latest book for children, Dogs at Work. We're going to have a special story time. We have a couple videos to share with you, and I think it's going to be a really cute hour with you guys. So I'm going to read her formal bio, and then I will tell you a little bit about your screen. So Margaret Cardillo is a children's author, screenwriter, and professor. She's the author of the award-winning picture book biographies Just Being Audrey and Just Being Jackie. A native of Naples, Florida, she holds degrees from Boston College and the University of Miami, where she now teaches screenwriting. She lives in Miami with her family, including Zampano, her rescue dog, and she believes they are soulmates, which her husband understands. So a little bit about your screen before we bring on Margaret. The first thing I want to mention is the big green button below us. This one will bring you to the buy link for purchasing copies of Dogs at Work. One of the perks of having Margaret be one of our local authors is that we are able to offer you signed copies, including personalized and dedicated copies. So if you leave us a note in the order comments section at checkout, we will take care of that for you. And then the second is going to be the Ask a Question button, which is there on the right-hand side at the bottom. This is what we're going to use for the Q&A in a little bit. It will be, the chat's closed. So yeah, if you could leave your questions for us there, I will pull them and I will ask Margaret in just a little bit. So without further ado, we'll bring on Margaret and get started with our morning. Hi.
Hi, Christina. Good morning.
Thanks for being here with us.
Thanks so much for having me. That was such a nice intro. I really appreciate it. That was really nice.
Sure. So I think we should get started with you telling us a little bit about your new book, Dogs at Work.
Sure. Yes, Dogs at Work. So before I do that, though, I have to say thank you to you, Christina, and to Caroline, who's behind the scenes, and to Mitch Kaplan and all of the Books and Books employees. It's true. It is very special to have a independent bookstore in your town, and to support that bookstore and have their support is amazing. Books and Books is truly like the heart and soul of Miami. I think when people come into town for us, we go to Books and Gosh, okay. Go in the back. I'll be right there. It's a live event, and this is doing it from home, and this is virtual. There's a baby there too, and a dog. Anyway, when people come into town, before we take them to the beach or the heat or Vizcaya, we take them to Books and Books. So it's the first stop, and I just really appreciate all your guys' work and all the work of the employees at the Books and Bookstores. They're awesome. So, and I also want to thank all of you guys out there for coming. I know there's a lot to do these days, and I appreciate you being on here. So thank you for your support too. But the book, yeah, here it is. There it is. Dogs at Work. So yes, it's about good dogs who have real jobs. So when you go to work or when you go to school, do you ever wonder what your dog does while you're away? What if he had a job too, and he went off to work? And that was kind of the idea behind the book, because dogs do have real jobs, and it's a fun twist on it, but that's really the essence of the book.
Yeah. So why don't we? Are you ready to read?
Yes, let's read.
Okay, let me pull it up.
Okay.
Let's get started. Okay. Screen. There it is. Do you see it? Okay.
I see it.
Yay. Okay, here's the title page.
Okay, great. There's the title page. And for the kiddos especially tuning in, I used to work in publishing, so I love all the different aspects of a book. The jacket, the The dedication page, all of it. I love all the different parts. So this is the title page, and it's just, if you do lose the jacket, you'll always know the title because of the title page. And I love this one in particular because of the cubicles and the little Post-its. Zachariah Hora just did an amazing job. And then there's the author and the illustrator and our amazing publisher, Balzer and Bray and HarperCollins. So, yeah, that's it. So there they go, off to who knows where. What do they do all day? And how could they leave us behind? Don't they know? We have to play. We have to eat. So on the left is a dog that visits in the hospital, and on the right is a lobster diving dog, but only in Florida because they don't have claws. We have to go on walks. We have to cuddle. And on the right, the girl's missing her cuddle buddy, but on the left, that dog is doing a very important job. He is. A lot of veterans come back and they need some dogs to help them through tough times, and dachshunds are a great one to do that. So very sweet. And eat again. That's a truffle hunting dog. I love this page. Sometimes pigs find truffles, which are really delicious and very expensive mushrooms that grow in the ground at the roots of trees. But we found out that dogs are actually much better at hunting them than pigs because they don't eat them. What could be more important than that? What could they be doing that's so special? And that is a real mare dog. And there is a real mare dog in a small town in Minnesota. He won 3 elections in a row, all landslide victories. And while they're gone, who's going to keep us in line? Who will play dress up with us? Who will help us put on a beauty pageant? What's best in show? Okay. Or listen to our favorite story. I love this spread too because it shows dogs at libraries that they are the kind and patient listeners while children learn how to read, and they're being employed because they have jobs all over the country, and it's a really great thing for dogs to do. And I also love the titles in the background that Zachariah added, so that's great. What about the adventures we want to go on? Who will help if we are afraid of the dark? And dogs can help pull up covers, turn on lights, take off socks, get people dressed. It's really amazing. Someone needs to keep us safe. Someone needs to find us during hide and seek. It's a search and rescue dog, and they can find.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. What happened?
No, I thought I went too quick.
Oh, no, you're good. Someone needs to bring us our mail. So those are dogs delivering mail to towns that are very remote. And those are kids who are expecting to go get the mail with their dog. And it's just the mailman, not the dog getting the mail. Someone needs to take care of us. Okay, I can't see that word, and I don't have it memorized. That's okay. I'll get there. Someone needs to take care of us. Without them, who will know what to do when we are sad or happy or if we need help? Who will tuck us in? Who will give us kisses before bed? Who will be our best friend? What if they never come back? They're here. They're here. I knew you'd come back. I was never worried, not for one single second. But how about tomorrow? You take the day off. And then that's the dedication page to my husband, Luke, my big yellow lab. And Zacharias is for Waffles, his dog, who needs to get a job. That's a great page too. And that's the book. That's the text part. And then here is the bark matter, which is, I have a real thing for puns, everyone. And it's actually called back matter of the book. And it's where you, if there's a nonfiction portion of your book or element of your book, then you can do back matter, which kind of explains the book. And it's a really special part of the book. But we call it Bark Matter, Meet the Real Dogs. And it is just an overview of some of the jobs and some of the dogs that really inspired this book. You'll learn that all of the jobs that these dogs in the book have are real jobs that they can actually have. And they're really based in practical things that dogs can do. And it's because of their amazing superpowers that they're able to do them. There's fun ones like the lobster-diving dog and the truffle sniffing dog, and the mare dog is wonderful. But the dog soldier, the search and rescue dog, those dogs, the therapy dog, they're really an important part of people being able to live their lives and live it safely and to their fullest. So they're really incredible companions in that way. And it shows how smart they are and how emotionally intelligent dogs are. So that's what that page is about. That's it. And I think now we have a video, is that right?
Yes, we have a very special video. I'm going to share it right now.
My friend Daniel Kaplan and I put it together, just some clips, and it's just to illustrate and show in real life some of the jobs that dogs can have.
All right, ready?
Mm-hmm. Wait, there's no sound yet. Hold on.
Let me reshare. Sorry,
no problem,
guys.
My kid can come back in and distract us.
Okay, I think we have sound now.
We all know dogs as pets. Cute and fluffy, energetic, sometimes lazy, maybe a little obsessive, athletic. Almost got it. They make us happy, and we make them happy. They love the simple things, and they also love spaghetti. But dogs are so much more than just pets. Their incredible senses give them superpowers. Look at all the jobs they can have. They jump out of helicopters to save people from drowning. They can dig people out of avalanches. They use their super strong sense of smell to detect danger and disease. They help blind people walk through the world. They help people with disabilities become more independent. They comfort the sick and the stressed. Some even do things like catch lobsters, climb mountains, and even be mayors. Dogs can do so many different jobs, and our job is to take care of them, to respect them and love them, so they can continue doing the job they love most, being our best friends.
Thank you for sharing that. That's very cute. That's my dog.
That was so great. Thank you, Daniel, for making that.
Daniel's amazing. Yeah.
So I'm going to jump into some questions that we have for you. And if anyone wants to drop questions into the Ask a Question box, I will also get to those. So as you know, we're big fans of your work. We absolutely loved Just Being Audrey and Just Being Jackie. But what made you want to switch gears and focus on Dogs Who Work with this new one?
Yeah. So, I tend to write about things I love. So I love Audrey Hepburn, love Jackie Kennedy. Those were really fun journeys with those books. But I also love dogs. I've been carrying around this idea for 12 years, maybe more, 13. It came about, I was a volunteer when I lived in New York City, or lived in New Jersey and worked in New York City. I was a volunteer for a program called Puppies Behind Bars. And what it does is prison inmates take puppies and train them to be CI dogs, explosive detecting dogs, that sort of thing, service dogs. And I would go to the prison, take the puppy home, and kind of socialize them, get them used to traffic, get them used to a house with wires and plants and things like that. And it was great. And I was telling a friend about it when I worked in publishing, and I was telling my friend about it, and she thought that was such a great thing. And she goes, "Oh, that's, Dogs at Work." And it was just, that was it. I we talked about, that would be a great book. 13 years later, it's coming out. I wrote it 2 years ago. That's how long it takes for a picture book to come out, but that's where the idea came from. And so it had always been there in my head. I just finally got to it.
And do you have a favorite of the Dogs Who Work that from your research?
Oh, well, my dog is my favorite dog that works. His job is to keep his eyes on me at all times, and he's very good at it. He's so lazy. He's on the couch right now. It's his day off. Probably, it's tough to pick because they're so. In doing this research, the stories were amazing. I mean, I could cry thinking about some of them. They're so moving. Dogs that detect seizures, low blood pressure, diabetes, the nightmares for survivors of PTSD, that sort of thing. The search and rescue dogs, I think, are really incredible. The soldier dogs, I mean, I always wonder, do they know what they're doing? They're jumping out of an airplane, or they're going through that rubble. They have a job, so they're so singularly focused. But for us, it's such a huge thing that they're doing, and they're just doing it to please their owner. And they get a pet, or they get a little treat or something when it's really incredible what they do. So I am not answering your question or picking a favorite dog. But I like them.
Okay, I'll take it. So this is actually someone else has already asked this, but it's one of my questions, so you're answering for both of us. It's about what your process was working with Zachariah Hora on the illustrations, and if you have a favorite spread in the book.
Yeah. So Zach, I mean, how fortunate am I to have Zachariah Hora? I mean, he's incredible. He's also super well known in the illustrating community and children's book community. He's just awesome, and he's a really great guy and very, very funny. I think there's a little clip that's going to show him being funny, but he's really good. So what happens though is some authors and illustrators come up with the idea together, and they work on it together, and they present it together. But that hasn't been the case for me because I do not draw at all. I do not illustrate at all. So I just wrote the text and then I send it to my editor. And then I rewrite it about 10,000 times until it gets done. And then she takes the text and she sent it to Zachariah and said, "Would you like to work on this book?" And he said, "Yes." And then he takes it and he does his thing with it. And what I loved about working in children's publishing and now writing the books is seeing how these illustrators, they tell such a complementary but different story in a way to what I've written. Like their illustrations are their own story and they're so awesome and beautiful, and his are funny but also moving, like, and it tells the story in just a totally different way, in a fresh way, and I love that part of it. It's really great. So that's it. But the thing that we've talked over email, and hopefully we'll meet one day soon. But we do share a pair of socks, in that I got him these pairs of really hideous dog paw socks, and I got myself a pair, so we have the same socks that we can wear together.
I love the illustrations, and I feel like it gives the book such a like I don't know, like such a like effervescence, like with all the puppies. I love the pairing of you guys. So I think we're gonna share now a little video from Zachariah. Let me pull it up. Here it is. Share audio. Okay. You guys see that? Can you see that?
But how about tomorrow you take the day off? All right, Waffles, that's the last time I'm going to read it for today. Oh, hey, didn't even see you guys there. How is everybody doing? Listen, I was just reading my dog Waffles' his new favorite book, Dogs at Work. Yeah, that's right. Written by Margaret Cardillo and illustrated by me. We're in the studio here, and Waffles just made me read it for about the 100th time, but I don't mind because I love this book. I think Margaret did a really good job, and I was really happy to be a part of it. So listen, Margaret, I think, is going to read the book to you if she hasn't already, but there's something very important that I want you to listen to, okay? You're come closer, a little closer. Make sure your mom buys the book after this thing, okay? All right, that's the most important thing. All right, I hope everyone has a great day, and enjoy Dogs at Work, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Yeah, and you guys, you can buy the book at that green button below us. Sign copies, personalized, leave a note let us know what you want.
I did that in the store the other day. Thank you, Reach. I did that the other day, and it was so cool. Like, there's nothing like getting a book with your name in it. It's a really special thing. So
yeah. And kids especially enjoy it.
Yeah.
Any parents and grandparents watching. So my next question for you is, what was the hardest part about writing this book?
The hardest part was, so I got a fun title, an idea, but the hardest part was finding the hook, right? So I had gone through a few iterations of like writing out jobs, and like it was very non-fiction-y. But once I thought it would be so fun to show, the old refrain of like the dog staying home while the people go off to work and they're just waiting for you to get back. Like, what if it was the other way around? The kids are staying home, anxiously waiting for their dogs to come home from work. Once I got that little twist, it kind of all came together. So getting there is always a process, but once that happened, it was like, oh, I've got this. Yeah. So that was probably the hardest part. The research is like so fun. Yeah. Watching
So, I mean, this one's about kind of the research. It's while you were working on and researching for this book, was there something, and you kind of mentioned some, but was there anything in particular that really surprised you?
Yeah. So, and the research, it's not just videos. I mean, I read books, and we talked to people from the AKC. We talked to people who train seeing eye dogs. So it was really, really enlightening. And some of the more, I'm always amazed by their emotional intelligence. Just always just blown away by them being able to read human cues, or there's that one video. I mean, this came after the book and everything, but of the dog who's walking with his owner, and the owner had a problem on the walk, and he like ran into the street and stopped a car, and got the person out of the car to come to his owner. I mean, like that takes a series of thoughts and problem solving that I think some people might not even have, but they get it anyway. But other things, actual things, the dogs have a vocabulary, or can have a vocabulary of like 10,000 words, and for some context, like the average 2-year-old has a vocabulary of like 300 words. So they can have a really intense, great vocabulary, which is amazing. A lot of the service dogs they have their owner speak in English, but then a lot of their commands are in a different language sometimes, which is interesting. They're trained in Germany or abroad someplace, so their language will be in different language. Their commands are in different languages. And then the other thing that really surprised me was, not surprised, but I was like blown away by, was their sense of smell. So like we smell a perfume and we smell Chanel No. 5 or whatever it is, but they can smell every single ingredient in that perfume, and they can, parse it out. So they're like, okay, that's that. And that's how they become such amazing search and rescue dogs. And the COVID-19 dogs are able to smell every single part of the COVID virus. Like, it's really, really incredible that way. Yeah. So, they're just amazing.
So that they can be bilingual, basically. That's really cool.
Yes. Oh yeah, they're right. Yeah, they can do a lot more than a lot of people. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, it's tough to learn a second language.
No.
So I'm going to switch gears a little bit to ask you some writing questions.
Okay.
First is, did you always know that you wanted to be a writer of children's books?
So I think I always knew I wanted to be a writer. And I was going through paperwork a few years ago in my room, my childhood bedroom, which is pretty much the same as it always was. Thank you, Mom and Dad. And I came across copies of letters I'd sent to the New Yorker from like 6th grade saying like, why won't you publish my stories? They were really sweet. I don't know. I think I got some responses. And so I think I'd wanted to be a writer for a long time. And then when I was in high school, my uncle encouraged me to take a writing class at a university, and it kind of changed like my whole, yes, this is something I definitely want to do. And I kind of rearranged my college curriculum to support writing and everything. So that was really special. And then my parents have always been really supportive, and my husband has been really supportive of my dream of writing. So when I was in children's publishing, I was editing children's books, and that's kind of when I was like, I guess I'd always thought I would write, adult work, adult fiction or whatever. And then when I got into children's publishing, I was like, this is where it's at. I mean, children's books are amazing, and they were such a special part of my childhood. They made me want to be a writer, and so I left my job and went to University of Miami and got my master's in fiction and then master's in screenwriting, and I wrote children's books. And at the time, I think it was kind of like, you're in the fiction program, like you're supposed to be writing adult books. And I was like, no, children's books all the way. So that's kind of where it came from. And so it was like, it's been a journey. Yeah.
And what were were there any children's books or writers in particular that influenced you while you were growing up?
These questions, because I know I'm going to forget so many.
No, this one is one that I think a lot of people, you have like, your list, but then when people ask you, you kind of go blank. Yeah. So I get it.
Eric Carle just passed, and I remember poring over The Hungry Caterpillar. I really like food a lot, so I would like look at all the junk food like over and over. I mean, I think they're literally like my fingerprints like surrounding the lollipop. I loved that book, and we read a lot of. There were always books in my house. My parents were always reading. We have a Christmas video where all the presents are on the Christmas tree, and the first present is a book, and we all like gathered around my dad to listen to the book. I mean, my kids, I don't know what they would do, but there were always books, and we read. Shel Silverstein was like a rock star in our house. Judy Blume for sure. I mean, I thought "Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret" was written for me. It wasn't. She's confirmed that with me, but I thought it was. Really clearly, very. E.B. White, like Charlotte's Web, is probably one of the most perfect books ever written. I mean, there's a lot. I'm forgetting a bunch. I'm going to regret this later, but yes.
That's a great list.
Classics. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
My parents
so
were like,
if they're, sorry, what?
My parents were always very encouraging of reading, like, and whatever it was, read it. A lot of comics at the, breakfast table. I still do that with my dad when I'm over there.
So, if there are any aspiring writers in the audience, is there one piece of advice that you would give them?
Yes. Yeah. Well, when I'm on my school visits, which I love doing, I love my school visits, I always tell the students, there's 3 R's that you need to do for writing. You need to be a writer. You need to read. You need to rewrite. Revision is where it's at. You turn your first draft to your teacher. They're probably going to send it back with some marks. That's my baby. And I've never seen a manuscript published first draft ever. And I don't know that they exist. Maybe, but I doubt it. And then the 3rd R is rehearse, which is really just practice, like practicing your skill, writing in a journal, all those things. Writing short stories for school, whatever it is, writing for your newspaper, just writing, and always be writing. I'm always writing in my head. I mean, if I'm not physically writing, it's, notes in my phone or thinking about going on a long walk and thinking about a story. Those are all aspects of writing and rehearsing. But those are very practical. And I think the other thing is to really think about is these 2 things, which is keep going and finish. Okay. So, and you're going to use one of those at different times of your writing process. So keep going, like when you get stuck or when you have writer's block or whatever, just keep going, keep writing, keep going, and try not to give up on yourself. And then finish is like kind of can be in tandem with that, but also maybe a flip side of that is you got to finish your script or your manuscript or your book or whatever it is, your idea, your poem, finish it. Even if it's terrible, get it done. Have a beginning, middle, and end, a complete work. And you'll feel better about yourself and you'll be able to hand it to somebody and say, here it is. And they can help you get through, keep going through until you get to something that you're happy with. But keep going and finish are 2 big parts of writing. Those are my 2 pieces of advice. And I'll take it myself. I need to take that advice every day, all the time. Yeah.
So my next one is also another one where someone asked this, so it's for both of us. And it's, what is the thing that you most hope readers will take away after reading Dogs at Work? What is the, I think they said, the message that you hope people obtain from it?
Yeah, so I think that the important thing is to, if it was kind of in that the video a little bit, was that dogs make incredible pets, and they're all over. Our culture of having dogs as pets. But a lot of dogs also have like very real and very important jobs, and they help people live better. They help people live longer. They help people survive, and they do this with complete devotion. They deserve our love and respect. They deserve that even if they don't have really important jobs or regular jobs. And I think that's the thing I want them to know, that there are dogs out there and they have these real jobs and that they really contribute in their way, but we need to love and respect our pets the most so that they can be our best friend. It's really true. It's really helpful.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to ask a couple audience questions here. Okay. The first is from Lori. You are a mom that works 3 kids, a full-time job. How do you manage work and writing?
What? I'm propped up. No, I'm kidding. I'm here. I don't sleep much, and I also don't. If I get my work done, my house is usually a mess. And if I get my housework done, my house stuff done, my work is usually a mess. So it can be a real challenge. I have a very supportive family. I have a really supportive husband and parents and children that understand but I don't get it all done all the time. That's for sure. And I have to be a little kind to myself. Yeah, also, I mean, the old refrain, need something done, give it to a busy woman. It's kind of true sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. Men are great too. But no, I get a lot of help that way. And that's what I do. I don't know. I'm messing up all the time.
Moms get it done. Moms can get anything done, I think. I'm a mom, so I can say that.
Right.
So.
I know you are. Mom, they're huge.
So Diana actually asked in the chat, do you think this is a good book to encourage kids who are afraid of dogs?
So I do think it is, because I think that seeing, first of all the different kinds of dogs, the small dogs, the big dogs, I think that's really helpful just to familiarize yourself with dogs. It's a great question. And also to show how helpful they can be. And listen, my kids, they come from, we have a 90-pound dog in our house, and he can look and sound ferocious. But he's an absolute sweetheart. He's like the unofficial mascot of my kids' preschool. But we still teach, the really good meeting a dog habits. And that's really important. But I think that just seeing their helpfulness and how they're okay with a lot of different kinds of people is really, really helpful in the book too. Yes, for sure.
And then Jean wrote, big fans, Anna and Jean here. It must be so hard to pick the right words for each page. How many versions did you write before finalizing this perfect product? I agree. It is perfect.
How many versions? So probably 15 drafts, probably. All of my, we all go through tons and tons. And even at the end, then there's that like last minute, like there's too many words on this page, or there's this, or, this needs to be rearranged, or got to move the dedication page, whatever it is, there's always like something that needs to be changed. And then the back matter, again, that took more time because there was a lot more words. But yeah, I would say there's always a lot of drafts, always. And I myself went through 10 before sending it to my editor, who we probably went through another 10 to 15. Yeah.
So this question's kind of connected from Nele, and they asked how you mentioned it's important to revise your work, but also to finish. And how do you know when it's time to stop revising and the book is really finished?
Finished. That's right. You got to finish it. Hello. Hi. I'll show him in a second. How do you know when it's finished? Nope. I don't know. The filmmaker friend of mine says, you don't have to be, what is it? You don't have to be finished. You just have to be done. Or maybe you don't have to be done. You just have to be finished. I can't remember, but it's just like, there's a difference between like, it's perfect. And like, this is done. I've got to get it. That's out of my computer, out of my head, out of my mind, whatever it is. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I imagine the editor helps you with this part as well.
Totally.
Like that process.
I have a very great agent as well, who is my buffer and helps a lot with all those things. And he's seen the crazy side of me and it's 3 a.m. I don't know what I'm doing. And he helps so much with that part of it. He keeps me very sane. Also, my husband reads almost everything I write before I send it out. So that's helpful too. But finding, and that can be finding, a writing group or something like that. And them just being like, yeah, it's time. It's time.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you my last question, but I also wanted to mention that Anna Maria's in the questions, and she said regards from Panama.
Oh, these are hi, Ruby. And also, my daughter's out there. Hi, Giovanna. Oh, she's with her cousin.
Mitchell's in there. Mitchell said,
hi, Mitch. Oh, this is so great. Daniel's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw his video, Mitchell, but it's great. Okay. So my last question for you before we start closing out the morning is, what's next for you? What are you working on? What can we expect next?
There's always something. There's multiple, which is great. I'm really fortunate in that way. I have a few things percolating. One on something on another female-centric book, and then I like to write about what I like what I like, and so there's something about food coming, hopefully, and again, it's just finishing. So there's a few more children's books, and then I have some film things also that I'm working on, which is another life of mine. So yeah, but there'll be something soon.
So it's strong women, dogs, food. I like.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's neat. Dogs,
Yeah.
food. Yeah, great. I should come here, Zomps. I'll show you my dog. Come here, Zomps. He's great. I'm sorry.
Yay. No, I love this.
Here, and you can send Luch out. Get the whole family here. Why not? Be crazy. Come here. Come here. Oh, there he is.
Hi.
Come here. Come here. Oh, there he is. This is fun. You know what's fun about this, though? I gotta say, here he is I love that he's good now. He's done. People from all over have been able to see this. So I really appreciate you guys doing this, transitioning the pandemic so well. And I know it's been a struggle for independent bookstores, but you guys handled it masterfully. And
thank you.
Like friends in California and London and Panama, like all over. Florida.
Yeah, no, it's we truly get viewers from all over, and it's been really fun to do it this way. A lot of work, especially from our director of events, Christina Nasty, but from all of us, really, like lots of love goes into this. So we really appreciate everyone who turns out,
yes,
and supports our authors and us, and it's kept us going. So yeah, so thank you for having your lunch with us, Margaret. It's every hi baby. So cute. Hi.
He wanted your attention. He's like, wait, what's this? You're famous. So yeah.
So thank you for spending your morning with us, Margaret, and everyone in the audience.
I appreciate
having you here.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I appreciate everybody in the audience. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, definitely support Books and Books, of course, and your local bookstores also.
And thank you to Daniel Kaplan for the video, and Zachariah O'Hora as well for the video and for your wonderful illustrations. So again, I'll repeat, that big green button below us will take you to purchase copies of Dogs at Work or any of Margaret's books, or any book at all. From Books and Books. We greatly appreciate your business. And if you're interested in more events, you can follow us on social media. You can subscribe to our email list, check out our website. We are open at all of our locations, so feel free to visit us. And we'll see you at the next one.
Yeah, take care of those pups. All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, Margaret.